Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
What's up? This is the most must-see WWE superstar of all time and his lovely, gorgeous wife, Marie. And you are going in Smackdown Live.
Hey, this is Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke watching Going In the Raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, and available wherever podcasts can be found. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notify bell next to it to make sure you're always getting your new Going In Raw notifications.
Yeah.
You got these news briefs that we've been doing on the daily, Larson.
Yeah.
Going up a little bit later in the evening.
Yeah.
So if you want your notifications for that, be sure to hit that.
The bell.
The little bell thing.
The bell gimmick there next to your settings or something. I don't know how this all works.
Yeah. YouTube.
You subscribe to the channel, you get notifications. You hit notify bell, you think you get notifications. At least then. It doesn't always work out that way.
Changes on the daily, man. Another change we might see coming up very shortly is a new face on NXT, Larson. How do you like that for a segue, pal?
That's all right.
So
Not bad.
Last night on SmackDown.
Yeah, Kevin Owens got fired.
He got fired.
Yeah.
I saw one tweet. So then he tweeted out, what was it again?
24-20.
Yeah. Now, some people speculated, what is that, Larson? Is
That's the combination to his bike lock.
Or his gym locker lock? Yeah. Could be any number of things.
Yeah, or his locker room. His padlock uses his locker room whenever the arena is. He's like, hey, I got fired. My gear's still in my locker at the Garden. Here's my combination. Could someone please open and get my stuff for me?
Right. I keep my my combination in my notes on my phone.
Really?
Yeah.
For what?
For that. Because I have a little locker when I put stuff in the gym. When I go to the gym and I remove my clothes and then put different clothes on, stick it in there. And so, yeah, I keep it in my notes because I'm not remembering anything.
Yeah.
I think it's like 38-10.
Oh, my gosh. Now everybody knows.
Like, here's the thing. I can keep my stuff in that locker and just, like, leave it wide open. Nobody's going to take my stuff. Who wants my stuff? Nobody's in there.
I think you'd be surprised, man. Someone's going to come get your stuff now.
Anyways, if the most basic code, this is not like a Zodiac level code, by the way.
No. No cipher needed for this one, probably.
But immediately, somebody in Kevin Owens' mentions on Twitter pointed out that those correspond to numerically, alphabetically, to the letters NXT.
Yeah, that's right.
Somebody responded to that tweet and said, "How'd you figure that out so fast?" And the person after that said, or the original poster said, "Because I went to high school." I love
internet.
Internet. Twitter's great. So now that he's fired, Kevin Owens is teasing, of course, that he might be going to NXT.
That'd be swell.
Is it too good to be true? Is this too obvious?
Yeah.
Yeah, of a tell.
Although earlier today he posted a picture with the caption is "My daughter and her friend," and it's Tommaso Ciampa holding his own kid, I think, and holding the hand of Kevin Owens' daughter. Looks like maybe at Disney World or something. Mm-hmm. Universal Studios, Orlando. Mm-hmm. I think he lives in the Orlando area now.
Some sort of, yeah.
So he's palling around with one Tommaso Ciampa.
And I believe he's in NXT.
Last I heard, yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
The thing that bums me out about it is that I want this to happen so bad.
You'll make a huge splash on that first NXT on USA, have Kevin Owens show up. Somebody else
on Twitter said, it sounds like he's going to be heading to AEW on September 14th, 2020. September. Because it's like 14.
Yeah,
there is no 14th.
There's no 14th month.
September.
That's pretty funny.
Anyways, no, I think it'd be absolutely great. I want that so much.
Yeah.
I want him in NXT so much, so we get him and Adam Cole together in Undisputed Era, then feuding and then together.
Yeah, either way.
However they do it, Kevin, that would bring so many eyeballs to NXT.
Yeah.
I feel like there should be some sort of big thing now that NXT is going to be going up against AEW. Mm-hmm. We love NXT. It's great, but there needs to be something.
Here's the thing: if there's any sort of high-profile person coming over from Maine, I don't know if they necessarily have to have the NXT pedigree in their past, but it needs to be someone that fits into what they do,
which is completely him.
Kevin Owens, yes,
which is completely him. I mean, his NXT title, his run in NXT was not long at all, but it was
Super
If
impactful,
you want
yeah.
to say pound for pound, it was the most impactful because he
Yeah.
wasn't there very long, but it was very impactful.
Yeah.
Like he brought that NXT title over to main roster and said, "This is the ish right here, man."
Yeah, get rid of your U.S. title, John Cena. I can't see
man.
that. I want this U.S. title, this NXT title is top notch here.
Yeah. So, man, I would love to see that. I think it'd be great. He's teasing it. I don't know. Maybe it is the kind of thing where it's so obvious that it will happen. Something tells me he's going to show up on SmackDown next week.
Just dropping stunners on people.
And then maybe at Hell in a Cell.
Maybe he'll show up on NXT and start stunning people.
Can you have a Hell in a Cell match that is unsanctioned? Doesn't the fact that you're in Hell in a Cell mean it has to be sanctioned because there's like paperwork to get the actual cell there?
I don't know. I would think an unsanctioned match when you have a ref.
Yeah, right. It's just a fight.
Yeah, because a referee is usually by some governing body, is employed by a governing body to make sure the rules are followed. But an unsanctioned match, you'd think would have no rules.
But it's I know it's a contradiction because
doesn't make any
somebody's got to win.
I know.
The only way you win a fight is if the other guy doesn't stand up.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I don't know. I really hope it happens. I think it'd be terrific. But I think he's already if it was gonna happen, he wouldn't have posted his
Probably
locker
not.
room there.
Probably not.
Maybe I'm wrong. That'd be cool. Maybe it's a double swerve.
It could be. Maybe Undisputed Era is getting called up, and Kevin Owens is going to NXT to replace him.
See, I don't want that. I just want interaction.
Yeah.
Got a super chat here from Poke. Some smelly going in raw. Mark probably wants that locker stuff, Steve. Now that I've said it.
I'm going to go to your gym and take it out and just dump all your stuff in the toilet.
Why would you do that? Why do you have a smile on your face when you say that?
Because you think, oh, now someone's messing with me.
But
I wouldn't tell you I did it.
Can I just illustrate here that this is why moving to 10 o'clock is great? Because you have a big smile on your face. You're talking about putting my stuff in the toilet. And before, you'd be like napping right now.
I mean, I still am kind of napping. Just the prospect of playing a prank on you.
No, this is good stuff.
It's funny.
This is really good material right
It's
here.
fantastic, man.
You're talking about stuffing
Man.
my stuff in the
Just
toilet.
dumping all your crap in the toilet.
What is your problem? You have a dark mind, my friend.
Would you rather have it in the bowl or in the tank? Choose.
Well, obviously the tank. The tank is where the
Bowl it is then.
Why would you do that? Because you wish it. Oh, man. Let's see. I think we got some new patrons here. Let's give them some shout outs.
Yes, please. Let's do that.
We get
before
into the details.
The beat by beat,
The
segment by segment.
minutia. Patreon.
Meat.
Hopefully, I don't post another Fightful Select story here in the Patreon.
Oops.
Let's see here. Just one. Shane Geller. Oh, wait. Two, I guess.
What?
Oh, yeah. Tristan the Man Carpany and Shane Geller.
Thank you.
And then also we got an email from somebody today. Just what's Anthony? Was that who it was?
Yeah, Anthony.
Didn't get their postcard.
Yeah, we'll get on that.
I will make sure that gets sent out today. Anthony C. Not to be confused with Alex C. Anthony C. Hey, Tony. Tony wants his postcard. We'll get him his postcard. Anyways, what do you think of SmackDown last night, dude?
It was all right.
Let's see here. I like that they use light profanity again.
Yeah, was that? I don't think that was censored on the East Coast feed because it was on the West Coast feed.
It was censored on the East Coast
Oh, it
feed.
was,
They're on
okay.
a delay, so they can
Yeah,
do that.
yeah.
And I suspect, look, Randy Orton's a professional. I kind of suspect that he'd say, hey, they said light profanity last night. Can I say light profanity today? And they were probably like, yeah, but we're going to censor that level of light profanity.
Well, you're getting into
Hard profanity?
Modicum?
Mild, yeah.
Medium profanity.
Actual profanity.
Medium
is the
profanity.
point.
Yeah, I guess not
You're
hard
getting into-
profanity.
Yeah. And they said, yeah, we're going to censor it, though, but go ahead.
Is what Orton said one of the 7 things you can't say on TV?
I think S is, yeah.
Yeah, S is.
S is.
Yeah, ish is, yeah.
Ish, yeah. Yeah, you can't say that on TV.
You put
man.
bull in front of it. I think it makes it worse, doesn't it?
It wouldn't surprise me. I actually think it lessens the blow a little bit, but that's me personally.
Agreed, but I don't know in terms of
I don't know.
standards and practices,
Probably the
censors,
same. Probably the same.
government regulators.
Yeah. If you say effing in front of it, it definitely hardens
Yeah, it definitely makes it a lot worse. You're going to get your license revoked if you're on a broadcast. Or at least a hefty fine.
I wonder if they said S on NYPD Blue. They showed lots of side boob and lots of butt. That's kind of
I don't
akin.
think so. It's one of the 7 words you can't say on TV.
Yeah, but NYPD Blue is they were breaking the.
Still, it's broadcast network TV.
That was a hardcore show, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Not as hardcore as the Next Generation, where you saw a guy's head explode.
Yeah, that was just the first season.
Yeah, SmackDown. It's kind of funny that is the Roman Reigns. Eric Bischoff apparently has botched this Roman Reigns thing to the degree that nobody cares now. Like, Daniel Bryan was nowhere to be found.
Yeah, no.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I kind of liked the stuff last night, but it is the least buzzworthy thing going on right now.
I know. What, 3 weeks ago, Buddy Murphy was in the mix. It was exciting. People were excited by it.
There seemed to be some twists and turns.
And now it's just, Rowan was apparently caught for some video, even though it was grainy as all get out. You could have blamed the NWO Rowan, the doppelganger,
right?
And at least got a couple more weeks out of this.
Dude, I really desperately want to know, and I don't want to 5 years for a shoot interview. I want to know what the original, according to Dave Meltzer.
It was probably Roman Reigns going to show up on NCIS or that show with, which one is LL Cool J on?
And then on
CSI Los Angeles, Miami, whatever it is.
He's with Robin on that show.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He shows up on that show.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I need you to analyze this video. Zoom in. Clean
it's
up.
Crystal clear.
Yeah, and it's crystal clear. And you see, no, it's not NWO Rowan. It's actual Rowan. And people are like, hell, man, they shoot NCIS like months in advance.
Doesn't make any sense.
We can't just walk on the set one day and say, hey, can we shoot this stuff? And it takes months to edit and get approved and to go through the pipeline to make air. We can't just make this happen. So you should know better than this, Eric Bischoff. You've done broadcast TV before with reality shows.
Yeah. What if it's this? What if there's going to be every week another NWO Rowan? And then eventually there's like 5
motorcycle gang, that'd be
which
fine.
is enough for a Rowan motorcycle gang.
But they don't ride motorcycles, they ride in garbage trucks.
Yeah, it's all very confusing. Yeah, that goes over like a fart. I'm sad that they had Andrade. Didn't Andrade like lose to the Miz?
Actually, it was not that competitive of a match.
Why is it all of a sudden the Miz is the Superman guy?
I don't know.
I hate that so much. I'm not a fan of that.
I mean, if you're going to have Andrade lose, the only reason Andrade didn't get squashed is because Zelina Vega was ringside.
I know.
Otherwise, it seemed like the Miz would have wiped the floor with Andrade.
Right? This dude, Miz is totally going to... Are they going to have Miz pick up this IC title just so that... Because isn't his next one going to break Jericho's reign?
It's going to tie it, I think.
It's going to tie it?
Yeah, 9.
Oh, boy. Just so they can make sure the AEW champion is of no significance.
Maybe, man.
To the company.
I mean, the math holds. We got to do our predictions later today, too.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, if the math holds true, then there's going to be a number of title changes at Clash of Champions.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
What happened with Bayley this week? Oh, yeah, nothing. She beat Ember Moon.
Yeah.
Again, and not really a competitive match.
No. Not at all.
Oh, and then there was some Twitter dust up about Mandy Rose.
Oh, that promo was awful.
Calling Nikki Cross ugly.
That was horrible.
I mean, I don't know. It was not creative.
No, it wasn't creative, and it wasn't well written, and it wasn't terribly well executed. I felt like she was self-conscious saying it.
Yeah, I know. Because Mandy Rose actually comes, like, if you watch any of her social media stuff, she seems like she's actually kind of a cool person. Mm-hmm. Like, she likes donuts and stuff. Mm-hmm. Sonya Deville seems like a delight. Mm-hmm. And I say that, there's no sarcasm there. They seem like lovely people.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I don't know. To me, it's just not the most creative thing in the world.
No, it's not.
I get that it sort of plays into what Mandy Rose's thing is.
I guess, but when people hear a promo like that, you think, it harkens back to the worst, some of the lowest points of women's wrestling in WWE.
There's a context there that, like, in a vacuum, it might make some semblance of sense. But, like, the context is kind of ugly with WWE's history of doing that stuff over and over again.
And we're not, granted, it's been, 5 years since we've had the women's revolution start. We're not that far removed from that particular era.
I think there's a more creative way you can go after the heel who views themselves as status-wise above somebody else, the face in the program. There's a more creative way you can go about that as opposed to, she's ugly, let's look at a picture of her. Yeah. And then you see a picture, it's like, okay, we know what she looks like.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a more creative way to do that.
And then commentary had to go along with it, which I'm sure was uncomfortable for them.
Yeah, probably.
And they seemingly tried their best to talk around it. But
it
wasn't very well executed. It was a terrible idea.
It was all right. We got a heavy machinery jobber match with apparently the CZW heavyweight champion.
Oh, really?
That was kind of crazy. Yeah.
Was it? I like they made a Family Ties reference to the one dude's name.
I love that.
And Corey Graves pointed it out.
Got it wrong at first. He says, "Isn't he from the Facts of Life?" No, wait, Family Ties.
Yeah.
Like, come on, everybody knows Family Ties.
Everybody knows Alex P. Keaton.
Well, we're also old.
Yeah. Corey's younger than us. He's 35.
That's why he might have missed.
He's only seen in syndication in the reruns.
We were OG. So anyways, let's get into this. Here we go. I got bad news for you, Epico. The Undertaker voice has returned.
I really feel like you should take him up on his offer, man.
Did you hear his voice? That was almost his shoot voice. When he started talking.
I don't know how I feel about the Undertaker reminiscing, man. He tried to do it in Undertaker fashion, saying those souls, yada yada.
I kind
of went off on a tangent, didn't make a whole lot of sense.
If I thought that this was actually going to be like the end of his career at some point soon, I would actually really dig that. I would like the dead man to start getting sentimental a little bit.
Weepy.
In his final program, I think that'd be cool.
Because then he could speak to his own kayfabe mortality.
Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
Or immortality. Yeah,
It's the
you
first
could
time
play with that.
He really has to stare the death of his wrestling career in the face.
This felt more like that cheesy promo he gave at the Hammerstein.
Oh, yeah, the Raw 25.
The Rad Raw 25.
That really didn't make any sense.
Yeah. So anyways, Undertaker comes down. This is one of my homes. Granted, there's no lady gym in the back.
There is a well-appointed gym in the basement.
Yeah, but it's available to both men and women, and anything in between. Anybody can step foot in that gym. It's not like Michelle's lady gym. Oh, Sami Zayn comes
Well,
down.
there's an important line here because he says
What
he
did he
shouts
say?
out some past legends.
Yes.
How legends were made at MSG. And he says, now we usher in a new era of superstar, which when he said that, I kind of chuckled to myself.
Yeah.
And then out comes Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, gosh. Undertaker said, time to usher in a new era superstar, and he's about to bury one right now.
Not quite yet. We're ushering it in. They're not in all the way yet.
Not all the way.
Not until I say so.
So Sammy comes out and he says, shout out to Undertaker for selling out MSG for 30 years. Says not 10, not 20, but 30 years he's been selling out this building. But he says Undertaker shouldn't be opening the show. It should be Sammy.
Mm-hmm.
He asks Undertaker to leave the ring. Says the future is in good hands with me, Sami Zayn. And then Undertaker kind of little nod, a little smirk, hands the mic, starts to walk out of the ring. Sammy starts laughing a little bit, getting a little too goofy.
Yeah, he's like,
oh, fell for it, dumb taker. So Undertaker's stepping through the rope, stops, gets back in. Sammy turns around, realizes he's in deep doggy doo-doo.
Doggy doo-doo.
Undertaker chokeslams Sammy.
Yeah.
Didn't see that coming a mile away.
You sounded like internet right there. I think Alex C claimed that one. I mean, a lot of people called it, but he called specifically Sami Zayn before it happened. So well done, Alex C.
Yes, hats off to Alex C.
Bright, smart boy right there.
Tall, too.
You're very tall.
Almost as tall as me.
Maybe you and I can go rafting down the river Stygian together because we're of equal height. Why does that matter if you're going rafting? If you're the same height.
It keeps the rod balanced.
I put you down, Sammy.
We put a shorter person on the front of the boat, it might tip over.
By the way, we still have plenty of those non-Undertaker shirts at friendomarket.com.
Yes.
I put you down.
He never said that.
Like a dog.
Never said it.
That's why it's illegal for us to sell it because
Also, there's no depiction of anybody's real persona or
fairly
face.
obvious. And in fact, we have confirmation from Eddie that Undertaker looked at that shirt with one glance at that shirt. He understood that it was totally meant to be. Moving on.
Next, Shane's backstage, milling about. Chad Gable enters, and Chad Gable goes like, "Hey, I was supposed to have a match. Elias is hurt." Shane says, "Yeah, Elias has a broken ankle."
Yeah.
I guess they just figured this out yesterday.
Yeah.
And so Chad's like, "Cool, I get a bye. I'm on to the finals. Neat." And Shane goes,
Have you not been paying attention to Raw? We don't do that anymore.
No. Shane goes, "Oh, not so fast. You want to prove yourself. You want to prove that you're a worthy king of the ring, right?" And Chad kind of shakes his head. "Yeah. You'll have a match tonight. I'll find an opponent for you."
Shouldn't, like, Chad, being the fighting champion he is, wanting to prove himself?
I know.
Shouldn't he have actually approached Shane McMahon?
It's not a good look for a face to be like, "Cool, I advance without a fight."
I mean, if you want to keep it real, that's.
Now, if he'd said, "Oh, is there going to
What
be..."
I probably would have done.
If he should have posed it as a question.
He should be the proactive one.
Yes, he should have posed it as a question as opposed to, "Oh, I get a bye, cool."
Yeah.
So if he'd said, Oh, does that mean I get a bye, or do I get to actually earn my way in there?
No, this actually should have gone down like this. He comes in, Shane's called him in, and he's got a soft taco supreme with him from Taco Bell.
No, Beyond Taco from Del Taco.
There you go. Well, the soft taco supreme, you get like some sour cream out of it.
All right, yeah.
So he's sitting there.
So Shane's got sour cream running down his mouth.
No, Chad.
Chad,
does.
sorry, okay.
So he's in there. He's like, Chad, you're eating some Taco Bell there, huh? You got a match tonight for the King of the Ring finals. Like, what?
I don't get a bye.
NCAA rules. I got to buy if somebody gets injured. This isn't the NCAA.
He's want to be bloated or gassy for his match later, so he spits out the taco.
What? I thought I had a buy. Nobody.
No.
Where's the dang rule book? Here you go, Chad. He starts flipping through. He's like, this is a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of scribbles.
Here, I can scribble my own rule here. Here, it says here, Gable gets a bye.
So Shane says, yeah, you're good. No, I'll get you. You'll have somebody. We'll do it. And it's fairly obvious. Gable at that point should have just said, it's gonna be you, isn't it? If he's been watching at all.
Yeah, no.
It's good, dude. It's gonna be
you. After that, Miz versus Andrade. It was, man, this is basically a glorified squash match. It was cool that Nakamura is on commentary, speaking exclusively Japanese. It was awesome.
Yep.
Just let him do that all the time.
Yeah, I know. Corey Graves was selling it great too. It was awesome, calling Byron rude for interrupting him and stuff. Yeah, no, I thought it was great.
It was great.
Yeah, it was awesome. Well, he doesn't have Sammy around anymore.
Well, at least not tonight, because one choke slam is enough to incapacitate Sammy to such a degree that he can't fulfill his obligations to Shinsuke.
That sell from Sammy on that choke slam, by the way, was great. He just crumpled up and died.
And a hell of a job by Undertaker by getting him up and then realizing his hat was about to fall off. Held his hat on with one hand.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Slam, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I don't want them to see my hair.
I don't want them to see my bald spot.
There you say balls. It's not in Manscaped today. Anyways, you know who else is sponsored by Manscaped?
I saw that, Dexter Lumis.
Dexter Lumis, man. Holy moly.
Man.
We're in good company.
We are.
Internet Today and Dexter Lumis.
I know.
Tell me that's not a faction.
That is.
Anyways.
So Miz has the advantage for pretty much the entire match, unless Zelina gets involved. So at one point she rakes the Miz's eyes, almost follows with an awesome drop kick, double knees in the corner, only gets a 2 count. They're brawling ringside. Miz has the upper hand, of course. There's a stare down between Miz and Nakamura. The Miz goes, "Oh, here, I'll show you something." Takes Andrade and just tosses him into Nakamura ringside. Mm-hmm. Back in the ring, Vega holds on to the Miz's ankle, kind of distracts him for a bit. Almost hits his awesome back elbow, gets a 2, and then the Miz reverses something into a skull-crushing finale. It was a disappointing finish.
Yeah.
Then afterwards, Nakamura runs in. As soon as that bell rings, he's in there dropping a knee in the back of Miz's head, follows with a Kinshasa.
I don't know about that math, dude. I don't know about that.
I don't know about that, and I don't know about the Kofi Orton math.
Oh, that's interesting stuff, too. I know. That's very interesting stuff. They're at the point where they could totally pull the trigger on Randy Orton. And then, you just have the title go back and forth a couple times. It's okay. It's been a while since anybody's done that.
Yeah,
besides the 24/7 title.
Yeah, I know. So Nakamura stands tall at the end of the segment. Math would dictate that he's losing at Clash of Champions. Next, Apollo Crews and Matt Hardy are hanging out backstage. Shane enters. He's like, "Hey, I'm looking for Chad Gable." Well, it seems like Chad Gable's just right there because he steps in the frame.
Mm-hmm, yeah. I hate, man, that is a freaking pet peeve of mine when they act like whatever is happening in the frame of the camera is the only thing that exists in the universe. I hate that.
It's lazy.
Hey, have
Bad
you
blocking.
seen so-and-so? Oh, yeah. They walk in a frame. He was... Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
It's not good blocking. Anyway, Shane says, "Oh, I found an opponent for you, Chad. Here, I'll go get him." He steps out of frame, steps back. He's like, "Hey, it's me. I'm the best in the world now and be king of the ring."
Yeah. So, there you go.
Didn't see that coming a mile away. Next, Mandy Rose versus Nikki Cross. Again, we talked about Mandy's promo before the match. It wasn't good. It's just a bad direction.
No, it wasn't. Epico. He just dropped a hundo on us.
Oh, thank you, Epico.
The benefactor riding down the river Stygian in his fancy yacht.
There you go.
Thanks, Epico.
Thank you, Epico.
Good to see you back.
Yeah. Hope you're doing okay.
Yeah. I hope you're out of the hospital.
Yeah, I know. So as soon as Mandy ends her promo. Cue Nikki's music. She just comes tearing down to the ring.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Full head of steam.
Well, what's her face comes out for Alexa comes out, and then she goes.
Here we go.
Bam, 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 she does this thing. And then Nikki
just
flies down,
sprints down the ramp, gets in the ring, takes the fight to Mandy. This is some back and forth in the match. Finish sees Nikki avoid Mandy's bicycle knee V-trigger, and then rolls her up for the win. Yeah, it was a fun enough match. It's just that promo really left a bad taste in the mouth.
It was just, I mean, I don't know. Every once in a while, WWE, Vince will just be Vince. And apparently, once again, hours before the broadcast, Vince tore up the script and rewrote it. Yeah. Something tells me that
he's just reverting to his old habits to a degree.
I think it's, when you're writing something, you'll to make things easier. What do we want the promo be about? I don't know. She's ugly. It's like that's worked in the past. It's cheap heat. It's easy. Just go with that as opposed to something more nuanced.
Or interesting. Or
not saying
complex.
It's an excuse at all, but it's probably what happened. It's probably the reason. After that, we had Otis and Epico.
Oh, wow, Epico.
Again.
Thank you.
Down the river stitch. It seems like he's simply encourage the Undertaker voice at this point. I'm not sure.
Like it. Well, we should do the rest of the show and see what that gets us.
Just like Kevin Owens as referee, his motivation seems to be all over the map. Otis and Tucky are back there making a protein shake.
Yeah, they're dumping a bunch of crap into a blender and then just drinking it.
At one point, Otis had a banana.
He had it in his hand.
That he was making very violent, almost sexual motions with.
Well, during the match, he was doing some pretty Fandango-esque pelvic thrusts.
It's both funny and kind of disconcerting. Doesn't really add anything to the wrestling, to be honest.
Oh wow,
with
Epico!
You. Epico, you're off your rocker. Is that the phrase?
Sure.
Undertaker just knows old-timey phrases now.
You're the bee's knees, Epico. The cat's pajamas.
There you go. Oh, my goodness. Anyways,
they make a protein shake. They drink it. They put cheese or something in it?
Maybe.
Thought I saw cheese.
I don't know. It didn't look appealing at all.
All I heard was Tucky.
I know.
And he had that banana, yeah. So after that, we have Bayley and Ember Moon in the locker room. Ember calls out Bayley for taking the chair to Becky, saying, aren't you supposed to be like the role model, the gold standard, if you will, the women's division here on SmackDown? And Bayley's like, no, I'm the same person. I did that for us, for the women's division here on SmackDown.
I'm
to
elevating
show that we're on an equal level with Raw. And Ember's like, all right.
Who was more annoying in this segment, Bayley or Ember Moon? Because the answer is Ember Moon.
Why did she have
walking up to somebody?
Why did she have like soda tabs on her gear?
Yeah, I don't know. That bothered me less than her attitude. Like, why don't you go up to somebody? I'm sorry, man. If you did that, that'd be kind of messed up because we're not really involved in simulated combat sports.
The thing is, like, going back to the nature of like Bayley says, I want to face Ember Moon at SummerSlam because you're like what the women's division is all about. It's like, hey, it was in the spirit of competition. Let's go out there and show what we can do as wrestlers.
Epico said, take the $405 and stop Taker for the rest of the stream. Fine, Epico.
Very well.
I will now. Rest in peace.
Thank you, Epico.
All right. So anyways, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. If you're going out and doing something, this is solidarity right here. You go out and you jack somebody.
Hold on. If it's a situation where you were saying I'm a role model and then you go out there and do something deplorable.
It's not deplorable, though. She didn't kill anybody.
No, she didn't kill anybody, but if she's out there saying, oh, I'm a role model for the kids out there and then goes and beats someone down with a chair, that's not exactly role model behavior.
She's never said she's a role model for kids.
She said, I'm here as a role model.
For who? For the women's division, right?
Pretty sure she said I'm the same person. I'm still the role model.
She didn't say specify for kids.
I think the implication is
no way, man. No way.
It's for the youngsters out there.
I don't like people going up to other people. Why are you doing that?
I don't know.
Why don't you mind your business? You know what? If you're so great, take the title off me. And then she had a match with Bayley after that.
Yeah.
But first.
Heavy Machinery versus Johnny Silver and Alex P. Keaton. Which one of these guys was the CZW champion?
Johnny Silver, I think. Let's see here. I'm going to go to my tried and
Sure about
true
that?
local competitor.
There we go. Of course, this wasn't much of a match. We got a lot of pelvic thrusting from Otis and a compactor from Heavy Machinery to get the win. I don't know if CZW want their
Look
champion.
up CZW champions. Who's the current one?
John Silver.
Silver.
Wow.
See?
Had the belt for 151 days.
He beat David Starr for it.
And the best of the best tournament.
Uh-huh.
That's interesting. Wow, did you know the Messiah has the second longest combined
Really?
reigns, and then Drake third.
Wow.
He had one reign for 567
Look
days.
at that top 10. You got Nick Gage, John Moxley, or the top 10.
Yeah.
Nick Gage, Matt Tremont. We have an intro from him.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta get that up. Masada, John Zandig,
Drake Wirtz,
and Drake Wirtz, referee Drake Younger,
the Messiah.
and yeah, the Messiah. Really, that's awesome.
Pretty
Let's see
cool.
here. So yeah, the local competitor here on the Twitter says Heavy Machinery defeated Johnny Silver and Alex Keaton. Johnny Silver is John Silver. Alex is Alex Reynolds. Silver and Reynolds are known on the indie scene as the Beaver Boys. John Silver, current CZW World Heavyweight Champion, had 2 WWE matches in the past, in 2018 on NXT, and then No Way Out 2012
Wow. It's been around
against
for a while then.
Ryback
Interesting.
and 2 other people.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, man.
After that match, we have Shane again backstage. Kevin Owens walks in, and then Shane's like, "Oh yeah, I was looking for you. I've thought about it. I'm willing to reconsider this $100,000 fine." And Kevin Owens naturally says, "All right, what's the catch?"
Yeah.
And Shane tells him, "Oh, I just want you to do a good job." And as he says that, he puts the referee's jersey on his shoulder. He says, "All you got to do is do your job correctly."
Do it. Wink, wink.
Uh,
do it correctly. Wink, wink. Nudge,
During my
nudge.
match tonight.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
And Kevin was like, do it correctly. Yeah, correctly. Help me win. I win the match.
Yeah.
So, of course, Kevin Owens leaves, and he's like, oh, God, what the heck? Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun.
I know. He's like doing.
Yeah. We'll see. Maybe I'll change my mind several times during the match.
Yeah.
After that, we had an Eric Rowan promo. What did you think about his promo?
It was all right.
I think he's got a good voice.
Yeah.
And I think he could execute something if it wasn't so standard.
Yeah, it was standard villain stuff.
It was. Here, let me explain my motivation.
Minus-
You thought I was under control, but I'm not under control.
I'm actually a genius. Reference video years ago when I was doing a Rubik's Cube. Someone put that on Twitter yesterday. That's why I was into it.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm really smart at it.
He's really good at the Rubik's Cube, huh?
Well, I mean, I guess he did a Rubik's Cube on Raw one time, or was playing with it, and then someone said, "Oh, I'm happy they referenced that he's smart for something he did years ago while a member of Wyatt family."
Did he actually solve it on air?
Not in that little clip.
In moments?
Not in that little clip. He was just playing with
I can sit there and get myself on video playing with the Rubik's Cube.
Doesn't mean you're smart.
But I am dullard.
Yeah, same here. I can't do anything with the Rubik's Cube, honestly. Yeah, so he explained, hey, I'm smart. I'm not easily manipulated.
Right.
I'm in control now. Out comes Roman Reigns. He has a Superman punch. Goes for a spear ringside, eats boots. They start brawling up through the crowd.
Yeah.
Roman hits. They start coming back through the crowd, so Eric Rowan is straddling the barricade. Roman hits a Superman punch. Security comes out, tries to break him up. Roman hits another one. And then Rowan just picks up a fan
That
and
was awesome.
power bombs him onto Roman Reigns.
I liked
that. Was
that.
cool.
That was really cool.
And then Rowan hits a fun splash on Roman and security. He grabs Roman by his arm and starts to pull him up the ramp. Roman gets up for a little bit. There's a little bit of a fight. Rowan just drives his head to the stage. Roman comes to, though, hits another Superman punch. And then by now they're up by the King of the Ring throne. And Roman's up there beating up on him. They're separated again. Rowan gets the camera crane that's just hovering right over his head and tosses it towards Roman. And that's how it ends.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought the actual segment itself I thought was pretty cool. It's just obvious that the story has nothing going for it right now. Because when you introduce NWO Rowan, you expect a lot of twists and turns. And evidently there were a lot of very convoluted twists and turns.
Yeah.
But then they had to drop that and they had to go back to simplifying it.
I know.
So I don't know, man.
I kind of wish they just... It doesn't always work, but the Who Attacked Alistair storyline in NXT, they at least tried to have some twists and turns. They tried to have some suspense. You kind of knew all along it was Johnny Gargano who did it, and that's who it was. Nonetheless, it was protracted. It wasn't boring. I don't know. It felt like there was a groundwork there for them to have that. With you had Buddy Murphy involved. You had Daniel Bryan there. You had Rowan. Even if you still have NWO Rowan there, that's a couple 2 or 3 weeks you can buy out of the story until he's out of there as a suspect.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It felt like they made the right move not rushing the Daniel Bryan Roman match to SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Let's milk this storyline because there's more to it. But now I feel like there's still something they could do with it. Let's just finish it anyways. Get out of the way.
I think the problem, maybe, and this is pure speculation on my part, if you put all the pieces together, what you said is true. Hey, we've got something good on our hands. Let's not rush it. And then when the story was actually written out, in terms of let's not rush it, it ended up being a mess.
Yeah.
And they had to go back and just simplify it. Say, okay, well, this isn't going to work. It is a bummer, though. They could have done a number of... I mean, they could have obviously used this to bring back Harper. I mean, I think it would have been terrific if you bring back Harper under this scenario and have them both turn on Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns, and they're all of a sudden given a lot more complexity, dimension, and depth than what they had as the Bludgeon Brothers. But it's them, and it's people like them together. But you let them talk and you let them have a mind of their own, and they're not just out in the woods going, "Oh, we have big hammers."
Yeah, no.
That could have been a good way to reintroduce that, and they don't even necessarily have to be a tag team; they could just be a couple of badasses.
Yeah, And there could have been ways you could have had, like I thought.
And that's just one scenario.
I thought for sure at one point they're going to have a tag match, have Roman and Buddy team up, taking on Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan. Made all the sense in the world.
Yeah, sure.
Made all the sense in the world. Give Buddy, keep him in the storyline, give him a huge rub, tagging with Roman.
Yeah.
But now Buddy hasn't been on TV for, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? It's been a while. It's frustrating. There was a way to keep all the pieces involved throughout the duration of this whole feud, and they just dropped the ball.
The problem is, man, when you're rewriting your script at the last minute, that literally cannot happen. That can't happen. You need just sit down and map out where you're going for the next 4 weeks. I'm not going to say it's not that difficult because I understand that wrestling has a lot of moving pieces, and I have zero idea what the writer's room is like there. But
I think I deal with Vince being fickle and changing his mind constantly.
I know.
So after that, we go backstage. Rowan's talking to himself. He's angry. He's mad.
Yeah. Well, that happens.
Roman.
After that, we had Bayley and Ember Moon
In a match, not highly competitive, but a match nonetheless. And Charlotte was on commentary.
Yes. Yeah.
So towards the end, Bayley, do you have something to add?
No, I was going to mention I like this in the context of Bayley was giving us kind of a heel match. Like she had Ember on the outside.
Yeah.
She was like brutalizing her out there.
Knee that she did was pretty cool.
Yeah. So I liked it in those terms.
Yeah.
Charlotte is kind of like I mean I think that the directive is probably be who you are. Don't necessarily worry about the heel face thing. But then Bayley's in there. Like I said, on the outside, brawling with Ember Moon.
Healing it up a bit.
And
Charlotte's like, oh, this is who Bayley's always been.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's a different dynamic.
They're all going to walk into WrestleMania, the main event. They're all going to be heels.
Right, yeah.
So, the finish saw Bayley avoid an eclipse. Hits the belly-to-belly for the win. As soon as the match is over, Charlotte gets to the ring, points to the title, does discount double-check movement, saying title's going to be mine.
Yeah.
And then Bayley just leaves.
Discount double check.
Hey, Rogers.
After that, we had Kofi backstage looking at various photos in the hallway at the hallowed halls
of MSG. And one of them is himself dropping that boom drop on Randy Orton 10 years ago.
You think that's actually...
I don't know if it's actually there, if they put it up for the thing.
Just put it up for the thing, yeah.
It's a pretty cool moment, though.
It is, yeah, it was pretty neat.
So after commercial, we come back. Kofi comes down the ring, and he talks about that night 10 years ago, the night that made him a star, a potential main eventer, when he destroyed Randy Orton. And he says, oh, you don't remember it? Video time. Roll the video. Come back, and Kofi's talking about Clash, keeping that belt. He's interrupted Randy Orton. He's yelling stupid. Kofi's looking for him. He's in the crowd. He says, you've always not been who you said you were. He mentions the accent Kofi used to have.
Yeah.
And then he says, also, the power of positivity, BS.
Wow, but he didn't say BS. He used mild, actual profanity.
And I like they cut to Kofi, and Kofi has his vest and the belt on and stuff, and just very slowly takes the vest off, takes the belt off, put it in the ring, seemingly with no sense of urgency. And once he has that done,
boom,
out he goes. He goes running into the crowd to give it to Orton, and then Orton, Kofi didn't know this, has a chair, and so Orton uses the chair on Kofi. But eventually there's a lot of back and forth. Kofi gets the upper hand, and Orton comes back. At one point, Kofi's laying on a table. Orton goes to hit Kofi with a chair, and Kofi kicks him off, but the table that he's laying on breaks in half.
Yeah.
Probably the gimmick table they had for the spot later on.
Probably, yeah.
So anyways, Kofi moves it, thankfully, and wisely, they had another table right there. Move another table into position, goes up to the railing above it, hits the boom drop, putting Orton through the table. Mm-hmm. Cool spot.
Yeah, it was a really good
obviously
spot.
Reminiscent of what happened 10 years ago in the same building. Mm-hmm. However, there's the math.
So this math we've been endlessly talking about is, of course, predictions math.
Yeah, the math that I think it's true maybe 60% of the time. Whoever stands tall in the segment in a go-home show usually ends up losing.
Yeah.
60%. It's not foolproof. I can't remember who actually ran the math on the math, but that's the math that we have on the math.
I could be wrong. I know that somebody has run the math separate from us.
Yes.
I don't know if anybody in the community.
Someone did on winning matches on go-home shows, but that's not the same as standing tall.
All right. If it's anybody, I would have thought that it'd be like Cody Miles.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Because Cody's like he's the spreadsheet was. By the way, I reached out to Cody.
Yeah.
And I want to see if he can do a spreadsheet because we got to talk about that project we're working on a little bit. I had some more thoughts about the math. This is like freaking Stephen Hawking and who's another big math guy, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah,
we got to talk about the philosophy of our math a little bit.
All right,
but we need a spreadsheet that actually does, so we can just put like a number in and it'll change stuff.
It's not a huge deal to get these calculators on the phone, man.
Listen, man, I'm just trying to make things more efficient. Anyways, hopefully Cody will be able to help us.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see.
Not that I have any questions about Cody's abilities. Don't know if his changes are necessary. Anyways, let's talk about the main event second.
Okay, let's do that.
Chad Gable versus Shane McMahon, King of the Ring semifinal. Kevin Owens, special guest referee. Like 30 seconds in, Chad Gable hits a rolling German suplex. He gets the win.
Yeah.
Fast count by Kevin Owens.
Okay, so fast count by Kevin Owens. He wins immediately. Gable wins immediately.
Yeah.
So Shane McMahon, stunned, gets up and says, No. Kevin's like, what do you want me to do? You lost. No. By the way, it was an awesome German suplex.
Yeah.
No. Gets on the mic. I'm now changing this. Best 2 out of 3 falls. Come on. Get back in here.
Yeah, and then there's some conversation between Shane and Kevin that we're not privy to. That's not mic'd up.
Yeah.
They're out there talking.
Yeah.
We don't know what they're saying.
So at that
it would have been
point,
helpful for Shane to get in his face and says, I told you to do your job right, because otherwise it just seems like that like at first Owens is out to screw Shane out of the match because that was a fast count.
Yeah.
And then without having something audibly that we can hear.
That was the thing, because then it reverses and Kevin Owens tries to screw Chad Gable out
essentially,
of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, we can put 2 and 2 together. It's easy for us to say, okay, well, obviously Shane gave him a little talking to, said, hey, you're not going to like it if this goes this way. That I would have thought would have been obvious from the get-go.
Yeah.
So the initial motivation of Kevin Owens trying to put the screws to Shane McMahon, what could Shane have possibly said?
We just needed a sense that Shane was intimidating him to behave in a certain fashion.
Like the original, when he was given the referee shirt and told, make sure that's right, why would Kevin Owens then have been like, okay, I'm going to screw him out of this? And then, what more convincing would have been? So I think that was a little bit on the clunky side.
If they had done just a standard count on the first pinfall, it might have been better. Instead of a fast count.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But in any event, at that point, Kevin Owens realizes in his best interest to basically screw Chad Gable, try to ensure that Shane McMahon got the win. And so he would do, whenever Shane would go for a pin, he would try the fastest possible count. Chad Gable would kick out every single time. Whenever Chad would get a pinfall or would go for a pin, he would like double check Shane's shoulders like for 5 seconds.
He was really like putting his hand under there. Yeah.
Right.
Second false start. Shane attacks Gable from behind. We go to commercial, come back. Shane has the upper hand. He dropped him with Drew Gulak's finish, the Cyclone Crash. That looked great. Gable goes for a crucifix pin. You mentioned that slow count. Owens is like a little bit of space there between shoulder and mat.
Yeah.
Shane eventually kicks out. We get a roll up from Shane. KO does a fast count. Gable kicks out. Gable hits a moonsault. Again, Owens slow to make the count. Oh, yeah. Shane hits the Cyclone Crash. Another fast count from KO. Gable kicks out. And then Shane grabs a chair, and Kevin Owens like, come on. I can't let you do that. Everybody here is watching. Everybody knows you're going to cheat. I can't let you do that. And Shane's like, okay, all right, here's the chair. Just go put it away. So Owens turns, puts the chair away. Shane goes to kick Gable in the front area.
Yeah.
Gable catches it, puts him in the ankle lock. Grape finds the leg, and Owens is like,
what do you want me to do?
What do you want me to do?
I got this guy here. I got this guy here.
And then
What do you
Shane
want me to
starts
do?
tapping, and Owens is still standing here like this, and the timekeeper rings the bell.
Yeah.
So Owens didn't actually call for the bell at all.
Is that standard procedure?
No, I think the ref has to call for the bell.
Doesn't the ref have to call?
Because
for
the ref is the one that sees the tap and is the one who calls it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's standard procedure for the timekeeper to take it upon themselves to ring the bell, unless at the directive of the referee. And so it ends.
The only situation that plays in my head in that situation.
Montreal. Screw that. And so the match ends with Shane tapping.
Yeah.
Gable starting to celebrate a bit, and Owens just standing there like this.
Yeah. I got this guy over here, this guy over here. What do you want
from me?
What do you want from me?
And so Shane gets up, and Owens is like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
Yeah. You just tap, fool.
You just tapped. And
In front of everybody.
so Owens turns to leave, and Shane attacks him, starts beating on him, grabs a mic, and goes, you're fired.
You're fired.
And then acknowledging maybe 30 seconds later that maybe that wasn't comprehensible, he grabs the mic again, gets in Owens' face, and goes, "Do you hear me? You're fired."
You're fired.
And starts beating him with the microphone.
Yeah.
So we didn't get the satisfaction of Kevin Owens getting fired and then dropping Shane with a stunner.
Yeah. Yeah. And then while he's on top of him doing that, the little trademark thing comes up.
The
bug.
Copyright bug.
Yeah. So yeah. Kind of wonky, but it was what it was.
King of the Ring finals are not going to be on Clash of Champions.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be on Raw next week.
How was that announced? Because I saw people talking about that on Twitter. How was that announced?
It was announced after the match ended. I think they did a quick card.
Yeah.
Taking place on Raw.
Yeah.
What? It's supposed to be a Clash of Champions.
I know.
Bogus.
There's no championship on the line. Just an awesome chair. And
doesn't
a hat.
Isn't a crown and a scepter kind of above titles?
Those are pretty cool.
Definitely
not above titles, but they're kind of titles.
It's a title unto itself. Yeah,
sure.
Answer some questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
DKC returns. 10 a.m. is way better. I normally miss this. Well,
good.
Happy you can join us.
Yeah.
Gregory Fiella says, bring back Crime Time. They could be a great addition for either brand, maybe even NXT. Is it Shad? He just wrote a comic book.
Him and
Muhammad Hassan.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I gotta check that out.
Yeah, that's neat. Fear and Loathing NYC. Oh, first of all, thank you again, Epico. Fear and Loathing NYC. Hey, friendos. Hi as F. World Trade Survivor here. Glad to be watching some Going in Raw today. Steve, can you do Taker telling Michelle how excited he is to put Bray over and then getting a text he's working with Sammy? So this came in before Epico bought you off to not do Taker voice again.
All right, and also if he is truly a World Trade Survivor, obviously today's 9/11. It's a big day. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. What did he want?
Taker telling Michelle how excited he is to put Bray over and then getting a text he's working with Sammy.
To Michelle, how excited is it? Michelle, I got some good news. I'm going to be working with The Fiend. Do you know who that is? It's Bray Wyatt. He's my friend. Hold on a second. I got a text message over here.
Beep, boop, boop, boop.
Oh, son of a bitch. All right. Let's see here. Alex C., what will the WWE do with the IC title record when 50-year-old Miz joins Mid-South Wrestling Revival Company? Exactly.
Yeah.
They always do. They always, I don't want Jericho to be champion.
Poke, holy light profanity, Epico has lost it.
Oh, Epico, he gave his seal of approval on that last one. Thank you, Epico.
Good.
Big heart. Let's see here.
Dylan Haggett. Does conspiracy theorist hurt or hinder Jesse Ventura's legacy? Answer in Ventura voice, please, Steve.
Oh, no. Okay, so, well, you know, for Steve, he quite likes conspiracy theory by Jesse Ventura. Because there's one thing, so there's conspiracy theories, which, unfortunately, in this day and age can be harmful.
Yes.
I've always appreciated, though, ever since I was a kid even, I always appreciated the more harmless conspiracy theories. You know, I mean, it's not harmful to think about who actually killed JFK. You know, because there was probably some weird stuff going on there.
Potentially,
maybe there's some evidence out there. Moon landing. I think it's silly to think that we didn't land on the moon.
Yeah, like the flat Earth thing, for the most part, seemed relatively harmless because
it's harmless and generally laughed off.
Yes.
When you start questioning stuff, like the thing that literally makes me want to vomit is the Sandy Hook conspiracy.
No.
That stuff makes me literally mad to think about people. Oh, that just makes me upset. But no, when Jesse Ventura, his conspiracy theory stuff, I thought was hilarious. Like I watched a couple of those episodes, and they're just he takes it so seriously. But also it's Jesse, so it's like he probably doesn't.
Yeah.
He probably knows that a bunch of it is just really silly.
I know.
Yeah, but he's a good entertainer.
Yeah. Gustavo Gama just has an emoji of a shirt.
We know
what that means.
We definitely know what that means.
I think I know what that means.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty sure I know what that means.
Let's see here. Cody Miles says he's on the road to beach. Power rank top beach things to do. Oh, just lay out. I just like to lay out, man.
I'm not huge on laying on
pale beached whale.
I'm not huge on laying on the beach because sand always finds itself in places I don't want it to be.
In your beehole?
Yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't really bother me. I like the air and the sound of the beach. It's very peaceful to me.
Yes, agreed.
It's me in a very peaceful spot.
Agreed.
You proposed at the beach.
I did.
Yeah.
It was a rocky beach though.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't a sandy beach.
So that could have gone one of two ways. Because at the rocky beach, isn't it, like most spouse murders, don't they all happen on like rocky beaches?
Probably because it's easy to just grab a rock and just start swinging.
Oh, she fell or he fell.
Yeah. Yeah, I could have went. I guess could have went south.
I
felt pretty good with my chances, but I guess the chance was
it
there,
ended in happiness as opposed to scandal and murder, and of course murder.
Favorite thing to do at the beach? Play volleyball. Beach volleyball is fun. Throw the football around. That's good fun too.
I hate beach volleyball.
Why?
Because it's so hard to run on the beach.
I know, it's good exercise.
I hate it. It's so irritating.
Exercise. I love it.
It's like I'm trying to go fast, but I'm going slower than I usually do.
It's great. It's the best. Looking for shells. Although how dirty a lot of beaches are, you're going to find all sorts of trash.
I know. Beaches are kind of gross. I don't know. I go to the beach for the observational stuff. I just like to look at the water. It always reminds me how huge everything is,
Yeah, I know.
Weird.
That's true. Dylan, so guys, have you discussed the charity stream? Not in details. No, we talked about doing a charity stream this month. We need to follow up on that.
We do need to follow. I know. I was just thinking about that when Epico was dropping all of his money on us. I was thinking to myself, I forgot he had mentioned that he was, perhaps interested.
Yes.
If we were to do, and of course, this is a children's
pediatric cancer awareness month, I think. Yeah.
So no, we should do before the end of the month. We should definitely do something.
Johan Van Wolfhausen, Fiend versus Taker. Winner gets all powers of darkness. Who goes over? Well, it's Fiend now. Fiend needs to go over. Fiend needs that.
Oh, 100. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. The Fiend. Yeah, for sure.
Fear and Loathing again. Ember should have told Bailey, "You're wearing a black heel jacket. You're not fooling anyone." That's a good point.
Please, I'm sorry. Please do what now?
Ember should have told Bailey, "You're wearing heel gear now."
I don't like this going up to somebody. Hey, why are you doing that?
No, I understand it.
Stop doing that.
Gustavo Gama just has pants emojis now.
Gus. See, he's just yes pants, but then no shirt. Or maybe that's lack of
Could be.
pants.
Could be.
I don't know.
I mean, how do you know we're not wearing pants right now?
I definitely am.
Oh, I guess I am too. I had to look to remind myself.
Jennifer, over on the Patreon, asks, does anyone else feel like everyone reporting on why Shane wasn't around and hoping his jury duty ran longer was a massive jinx? That's a good point. You talk about something, then the opposite's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good point,
Shouldn't
Jennifer.
have reported on it, and then he wouldn't have showed up.
Correctamundo. Let's see here. What else? Alex Foster has a great question. In kayfabe, if superstars get bonuses when they are champions, how does that work for the 24/7 title? I think that's why the 24/7 title. You know what you get paid in? You know what your bonus is in 24/7 title? Exposure.
Yeah.
It's like working for free for some jerk.
Do you
who
see
says,
that
"Oh, you can get paid in exposure."
California, the state senate passed that freelancer or independent contractor law?
I did see that. It's going to be weird to see if that, number one, becomes a national thing a couple years down the line, because they say as California goes, the rest of the nation sometimes follows.
Yeah. I'd be hard pressed to think in the red states that would happen anytime soon.
Might be difficult, but you never know. Number two, obviously, it is going to be very curious to see how that works out for wrestling.
Well, I mean, I only read one article about it today that someone posted on our Twitter. Thank you for sharing that with us. And it just said, it obviously didn't speak about wrestlers. I didn't read far enough into it to say if it's anything, whether it was strictly to companies based in California. Like, I don't know how wide of a net it casts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously it mentions rideshare drivers, workers who are considered contractors despite working, full-time hours and so on and so forth. But I don't know how it applied to wrestlers. I don't know.
Yeah, it's time will tell. I have no idea. I mean, I would imagine. I would just imagine that exemptions will be made in situations. I mean, I know that's part of the law. Part of the law that was passed was there are exemptions.
There was an exemption for newspaper delivers, but that was only for a year.
And I also think that part of that, I mean, it's a law, and politics often come into play and so Linda McMahon is a pretty big figure in the current administration.
This is an article from the San Francisco Chronicle. It says a lengthy list of professions won exemptions, largely because they typically set their own prices and negotiate directly with their customers. These include doctors, dentists, psychologists, insurance agents, stockbrokers, lawyers, accountants, engineers, direct sellers, real estate agents, hairstylists, commercial fishermen, travel agents, and graphic designers.
Mm-hmm.
Uber, Lyft, and other gig companies negotiated unsuccessfully to be exempted. So, like DoorDash drivers, anybody. I feel like this is more directed, largely directed towards companies like Lyft and Uber, DoorDash, that type of stuff. Because a lot of the professions that got exempted, I can see where potentially there could be some. Exploitation loopholes in terms of classification as employed versus contractor. I mean, like if you're an independent graphic designer, obviously you want to be exempted from that so you can set your own price. But if you're a graphic designer hired as a contractor from a larger firm and you have no power to negotiate your own rates as far as dealing with clients, then I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I would be surprised if there were ramifications for the WWE or AEW anytime soon. They might try to get ahead of it and simply. I mean, everything that we've read would indicate that it really wouldn't cost them much money to actually just make all their wrestlers employees. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't cost that much money. It wouldn't surprise me if they try to get ahead of it and just do that. Say with AEW.
Smart.
Because
AEW definitely should.
So
I mean, because AEW's obviously their wrestlers are working fewer days, and then not that long ago we heard talk that maybe WWE is going to stop doing as many house shows. Mm-hmm. So if AEW really wants to put out their competitive environment for wrestlers themselves, they should definitely do that. Yeah, definitely do that. Get out ahead of it. Force WWE's hand to do something about it.
Nemo, the current women's champion in Fun Wrestling, has a question. How much will the total lawsuit be for Shane attacking Owens as both a WWE official and as a civilian after being let go. He did keep attacking him after he was fired. Nemo brings up a very good point here. That could actually be the next story beat.
Yeah.
Shane attacked an official, and then he attacked a civilian after he was already fired. If Kevin Owens comes back with litigation, I will be severely disappointed.
Yeah.
Although I guess there is an element of fighting fire with fire because the McMahons are so well known for litigation.
Yeah.
If he comes at him with an army of lawyers and say, hey, either I'm going to own this company or I want you in Hell in the Cell.
Yeah.
Nemo might have just figured out that's the next story.
Yeah.
That could be.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's see here. Yes. We've sort of already mentioned that. Thomas Dunnigan. So what did the 11-19 mean if it had nothing to do with the Fiend attacking Taker? Something bigger for Bray at Survivor Series, perhaps?
Well, I think Survivor Series is the following weekend. 11/19 is a Tuesday.
A Tuesday. I don't know. No say. Tuesday. By that time, it'll be on Fox, so it's not even a SmackDown's not on.
So I got the dates wrong or something.
I don't know. Did we? So wait, did people actually confirm that 11/19 was the Undertaker debut? Because somebody else in our comments was like, no, he actually debuted on November 22nd or November 20th, 1990.
Interesting.
So I don't know. I just saw it on Twitter. People were saying it, and then I think it was on Wikipedia, but people could change that pretty easily.
Yeah.
Blake Whitehouse says, how many more months until we see Buddy Murphy again? I don't know, but apparently him and Ali had a killer dark match last night. The night before,
so Undertaker his on-camera debut was Survivor Series November 22nd, but he did a taping of Superstars on November 19th, 1990.
Okay, all right, well that's interesting. And he was Kane the Undertaker. Kane. Steve Klain asks straight up: is Kofi losing at Clash of Champions?
I gotta think about that one.
We got a lot of decisions to make.
Yeah.
We got a lot of decisions to make.
Yeah.
Let's see here. This is we'll end on this one. From Where's My Title asks, what do you guys think about Anthem buying a majority interest in Access TV? Actually, I talked about that myself on the Monday news brief. Wednesday on the Monday news brief.
It seems like they're already letting a lot of people go and Access. I know Sean Ross Sapp tweeted about at least one, if not two, of the departures. Like, these people did. It was someone in the PR department, I think, at Access that got let go, and he was like, "This person's like really good."
I know, and
really approachable.
And they've been apparently the people that have basically been behind the TV aspect of things for New Japan on Access have been let go. So, number one, that's a total bummer. I mean, I think the last count I heard, I thought was 40, but then there was an additional around that same number, around 40, of independent contractors, freelancers, etc., who will no longer have income from Access as well. All that's first and foremost very sad.
Yeah.
It is a bummer if Anthem is getting rid of people who are really good at their jobs, doing that TV stuff, because.
Well, you know, whenever these mergers happen, there's generally overlap in positions and so on and so forth. So layoffs aren't uncommon. But if one of the reasons Anthem bought a majority stake in Access is so essentially Impact as a place to have the TV home, it might benefit the company to have some people who've actually had success working, getting wrestling on television around.
Well, also, yeah, I mean that's totally true. That's totally true. I don't know how long the Access New Japan deal is.
I read somewhere. I can't remember what it was. What it was, though. Yeah.
Did it seem longer term or shorter term? Do you remember?
Relatively shorter term.
Really? What's a channel that isn't quite as big as? I guess an analogy might be like if Spike TV was still around, because Spike was never as big as USA or TNT, but it was certainly bigger than what Access is right now. And they did pretty decent numbers for Impact when it was at its peak, anyways, when it was doing good. It wouldn't surprise me at all if New Japan. I mean, who knows how all this is going to shake out? How their office is going to, what changes they'll experience in the relationships they have with their TV partner here in the U.S.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't surprise me, number one, if if AEW does pretty well in TNT, if a bigger company than Anthem Access wants to maybe snap up
New Japan
New
TV
Japan,
rights here, yeah.
because they can probably get a pretty good deal for it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they left.
It'd be interesting if say, I'll throw this out here, someone like ESPN, because New Japan's emphasis is more on the in-ring competition. You could say it's more sport-based, obviously
sure.
the WWE's product.
Yeah.
Like that would be a decent home. Obviously, I doubt it would be on ESPN Prime during prime time, but that's good programming for ESPN Plus.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. And it is much more of a, I don't know if you just said this, but much more a sports-based presentation. Yeah, for sure.
Totally. I got one more super chat here. Mike Lucas, is Adam Scott now NWO Johnny Gargano? Adam Scott, the actor from Parks and Rec?
That's who I was taking it as.
Yeah.
Why? What is the relation there?
I don't know.
Did he change his look up? Does he look like Gargano now?
Maybe.
Does he have a beard now? Is this like current?
I mean, Gargano has kind of like a scruffy.
He has like a scruffy beard. I don't know. I don't know, Mike
either.
Lucas. That's a good question, though.
You don't know either.
Maybe we'll solve it later down
Yes.
the line. Anyways, thanks everybody for tuning in. Hey, thanks so much to Epico.
Thank you,
for
Epico.
your
Thank
support,
you.
man.
I hope you're doing good.
You're terrific, and yeah, I want you to be safe. He was in the hospital, according to him.
Yesterday, yeah.
Wasn't it because of alcohol?
Yeah, he drank too much.
So be careful in the world, man. Anyways, thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. We got a bonus episode coming up in a little bit for $5 net patrons. Thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time, talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Be a part of Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steven Larson. Starting at $1 a month, you can enjoy Going In Raw ad-free, gain access to the daily 30-minute Going In Raw post show, exclusive merchandise, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.